Street in the back corner of the Westbird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
It's a Dolphins Sunday, baby. And no better place to watch it, to eat, to cheer, to route on, baby. The route is on today for the Miami Dolphins to take on those stinking Carolina Panthers. Come on out here, baby, to Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th. Sean Stanley by my side. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. Appreciate all of you out there joining us. As always, I see the chat board already loading up. Thank you all out there. Looking forward to today's game. Can the boys make it 4 in a row? And we encourage you to come on out here and join us, man. We'll be out here all morning and afternoon. It's not much of the morning left. There's only an hour of the morning left, but we'll be out here all afternoon into the early evening because we end right around 6 with our post-game show where we'll have, of course, Coach Flo. We'll have Tua talking about his game-winning drive. And, well, the game-winning drive happened like in the early third quarter. By the fourth quarter, they're piling on an extra 21 points. So, it's all well and good. It'll be a rout. It's all – well, although, Vegas has the Panthers favored by 2 in this one today. So the wise guys have Carolina leading the way. We'll see if that ends up happening today. Carolina's favored by 2. The over and under is 42. Miami is plus 110 on the money line. Carolina minus 130 on the money line. There's all kinds of stories going on that we will address. There's all kinds of overreactions going on, which we will address over the next 2 hours. We also have a couple of great guests, as always. Joe Shad with our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report, and he'll join us at 11:15. So in a couple minutes here, we'll get to talk to Joe Shad. And then, of course, Lee Sterling in Paramount Sports will stop by at 11:45. We'll have a little fun with Lee. He'll give us his picks. And he had a big one. What was it? What was the upset he had last week? He said Washington, right? Didn't he have was it the Washington game or something? He said to take Washington, or I forgot which one it was that he said to take, and he was right. I forgot which one it was, but he was like, no, you got to take this, whatever. And he was on target. Was it Washington? I don't know. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm trying to figure out which one it was now because I'm going off memory, but I remember that we were sitting here going, dude, he was right about that game. We were talking about it. I was like, damn, I should have put some money on that one. I forgot which one it was, but we'll talk to Lee about that at 11:45. Yeah, right. Heineke, right? I think so. And they beat Carolina. That's who they beat last week. So we'll see what happens. Washington's got a really good defense. It'll be up to Miami and their defense to show up today, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be the key today. The boys have to show up and get it done and find a way to win and find a way to overcome and pick up their 4th victory in a row. This is a winnable game, but it's also a game that they can lose. Okay, let's not. Now, I will tell you this. I don't have the fear of Cam Newton that people are, I find it funny. I've said it all week long on the show that, people are talking up Cam Newton, and Cam Newton is still Cam Newton, dude. He's a running quarterback. He's not a good passer, never has been a good passer, never will be a good passer. The thing about athletes, right, whether it's Michael Vick, whether it's Ryan Tannehill, whether it's who are guys like this that I don't, Lamar Jackson, these kind of dudes, right? They're not great passers. They never will be great passers, but they're great athletes. And so in a game, they can make a couple passes. Every once in a while, there'll be an entire game where they don't make just a couple of passes, ladies and gentlemen. They're on target a lot, and it's just their day. Only happens maybe once or twice a year to these kind of guys. Real passers, they're on target 80% of the time because they're real passers. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the difference. And Cam Newton is a guy that, okay, maybe the stars align and everything is in order, and all of a sudden, today he comes out and he throws several darts, and you're like, wow, okay, it could happen. It could happen. It happens with Lamar. It happens with Ryan Tannehill. It happens with some of these athletic type quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is another one of those kind of guys. Isn't a good passer. You know what I mean? And so these kind of cats, the way Miami handled Lamar a couple of weeks ago with that disciplined pass rush, it's going to be the same thing. You got to cover all the gaps. You got to attack. You got to force him into being a passer. What you can't allow Lamar, what you can't allow Jalen Hurts, what you can't allow Ryan Tannehill, what you can't and Tannehill's a little less than some of these guys, or Cam, is to allow them to start running free. And that's going to be the key, is corralling him, making sure that he doesn't have a lot of freedom back there, and force him to make decisions with his arm, which he doesn't have a great arm. He can throw it a mile. What I mean is he doesn't have the accuracy that you need, the ball placement that you need. And so, today, really, let's be honest. Today is about X and Byron Jones. They're the guys that are going to have to step up against Moore and company. That's what's going to happen. Against Roddy, against these guys, against their receivers, they're going to have to handle them on an island all by themselves. But that's the beauty, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you don't have an accurate passer and you're playing a lot of one-on-ones and you got to play some tight coverage so you can force Cam to try to be perfect. These are the kind of guys that can't be perfect, that can't place the ball where it needs to go. And so you'll have an opportunity for a turnover. And this is why you've got to have the same kind of game plan against Lamar. The only difference, I will say, from Lamar to Cam is 260 pounds. Okay? He's a load to bring down. So he's going to break tackles that Lamar Jackson cannot break tackles. Lamar Jackson, you just got to catch him. Lamar Jackson is like Rocky and the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Rocky's chasing the chicken and can't catch the chicken. And more often than not, we're not going to be able to catch the chicken, right? That's kind of Lamar Jackson. You can't allow him out in the open field because then you're going to look silly like Rocky on the first go-around, of course. Once Rocky got into shape and everything, no chicken was going to get away from him at that point. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have Rockies on our team. You know what I mean? Nobody has Rockies on their team. I mean, it's Rocky is Rocky. It's only one of those guys. So, no, seriously, it's got to be one of those things where you corral him, and you got to make sure. Now, Cam can run you over, so tackling is going to be incredibly important today against that big dude. We saw it 2 years ago where he punished Miami with New England on that first game. They can't allow that. And again, he didn't really kill you with his arm. He killed you with his legs that day. Because it's rare for him to kill you with his arm. Because he's not a great passer as we come back full circle. So make him what he is. An athlete trying to play the position. Make him what he can't do. An athlete trying to play quarterback and trying to have pinpoint accuracy, something that he normally doesn't have. And that will force him into turnovers. And that will frustrate him if he can't run and he can't pass. We all know Christian McCaffrey. That's a whole different monster. And let me tell you something. Later on, we'll talk a little bit about the stats. And I'm gonna enlighten you on some numbers that I think some Dolphin fans aren't really looking at, and they're gonna feel better about themselves. And at the same time, see, the thing about numbers and stats is that you can spin them any way you want. But a lot of them have been spun in a negative fashion. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to spin it. I'm going to show you the reality of what's going on, or maybe it's not so bad, Dolphin fans. And it'll make you feel a little better about this matchup, and we'll get into that later on the program. I appreciate it. Daniel Grafton, by the way, giving me a little love here, or giving us a little love on the super chat. And he says, CKB, 3 cents. Yeah, man, you've been watching that. CKB, through this mini consolidation that we've gone through over the last couple of days since this stupid virus thing came out and people overreacted. Oh my God, man! Some of you out there, you just like you any little bit of news and you go selling your crypto or your stocks like the world is going to end, and it's so stupid. It's ridiculous. We're overreacting on this new variant that we really don't know anything about. The media's throwing stuff out there. The doctors haven't really looked at it or anything. The experts haven't really diagnosed everything that's going on. So it's like media is like, and so people react on the FUD. It's just so ridiculous. Those of us that are smart, if there was a dip, you took advantage. Look, CKB was dipping a week ago. Anybody that got, at the 2.3, 2.4 mark, 2.5, now it's at 3 and over. It hit to 3.3, 3.4, I think, yesterday. So, Daniel, you definitely are enjoying the fruits of the CKB labor there. So hang in there. And it stayed strong throughout. So did Star Atlas, by the way. And I don't know if anybody noticed it, but it stayed in the 18-19 area. It didn't have a drastic drop. Well, not drastic, but a minor drop like a lot of the other stocks that have had minor drops, not drastic drops. What was it? I saw a headline, Bitcoin into a bear market. I'm like, dude, like 11% is not a bear market in Bitcoin. Bear markets in the Bitcoin, it's like 50, 60, 70%. But again, if you're listening to the media who knows nothing about crypto, you know what I mean? Then you're a dummy, because if you follow crypto like I do, I know more about crypto than 99% of the media members in this country. Okay? 99.9% of the media members in this country. They don't know anything about crypto. They're just throwing crap out there. And then the people believe it, and it's just really amazing. But it is what it is. But Daniel, thank you for a little love on the super chat. Very nice of you out there, as always. Appreciate it. Let's see what else. Got to be a tough game. Have to go all out. We are far from being able to dictate a game at this point. I agree, Jimmy. But you can dictate it on defense. That's been proven. So they can do that. They can. Offensively, they have no shot at dictating anything whatsoever. They're forget about it. With this coaching staff, they'll never get anywhere with this coaching staff on offense. But on defense, they can dictate how things went. They dictated everything in the Baltimore game. Everything. On defense. So that part I would disagree with you on that one. The realist Outen says, fins up from the Bahamas, where we need this win today. We love you out there in the Bahamas, as always, supporting the show. Thank you all out there. Francisco Rivero is in. Steven Caparella is in. He says, let's go Miami in honor of Paul Warfield's birthday today. It's time to shine, baby. I didn't realize it was Warfield's birthday. Happy birthday to him. Stephen Harris, Duck Dog, Quill Davis, all kinds of stuff. All right, good stuff. All right. We always have a lot of action on the chat board. By the way, we got Joe Shad ready to go with our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report. If you had any questions you want me to ask Joe Shad, you can send in a Cash App or Venmo or Super Chat so I can see it quickly and I can bring it up. I can't search chat board with everything in there for Joe. So this way the Super Chats will stand out, or Cash App or Venmo if you want. All right, let's take a break. Or not a break, but let's take the presentation out, right, for Mr. Joe Shad and the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending report.
The man, the myth, the legend, that is Joe Shad, baby. Follow him on Twitter at ShadJoe and catch his work, of course, at the Palm Beach Post. Look at him smiling and everything. So you're feeling good about the Fins today, huh? Is that what that smile is about?
It would be nice to see the Dolphins win a fourth consecutive game, Big O. I would love to start to write stories about the Dolphins in the playoff chase and winnable games against the Giants and Jets and a bye, and that would be great. I hope it happens.
It would be nice. It would be nice. But this one's going to be challenging, isn't it, Joe? And how much of the game plan from Baltimore runs over on this because you're facing the same kind of quarterback, different kind of runner. One's more of a power runner, one's more of a lightning quick one runner, but still the athlete playing quarterback and the running game. And obviously with Christian McCaffrey, how do you see the game plan against the Ravens translating over today against Carolina?
Yeah, I remember in that Baltimore game, the Dolphins did not turn their backs to Lamar Jackson, which was helpful. They always seem to have somebody like a Jalen Phillips or a Jerome Baker ready to use their speed to try to shadow Lamar's runs. Certainly, you think you'd see something like that today. Brandon Jones, unfortunately, has been injured this week, and he's questionable entering today. The Dolphins are fortunate to have lots of depth at the safety position, but safeties and linebackers are so important relative to limiting Cam Newton's running game, and he has absolutely crushed the Dolphins on the ground in years past. And, of course, he has Christian McCaffrey playing with him as well today. So, Jerome Baker, Jalen Phillips, Eric Rowe, Javon Holland, they need to be really good today.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. They've got to be exceptional today, and I'm thinking that today's a day where you have corners that have to be impeccable too, because if you're going to send the house, if you're going to constantly pressure this guy, then those guys are going to be left out on an island. Is that what you expect against DJ and Roddy?
Yeah, and Xavier Howard has come on after a few bad moments earlier in the season. I've been disappointed in general by Byron Jones's performance. He's the highest paid corner in the NFL, and he has not played like it. He needs to be better. He needs to make more game-changing plays. He needs to give up, less big passes, fewer big passes. And so, let's keep an eye on Byron Jones today. I mean, this is a day in which Byron Jones lives up to his contract status.
Yeah, no, both. I mean, X has allowed 6 touchdowns this year too. So you're talking about two guys, and one of them obviously is a Miami guy, so he's going to be pumped up about playing here, Anderson, and DJ is an incredibly talented player. So both guys have, that's been kind of the rough part about watching this secondary, that the two shutdown corners haven't really been shut down.
Cam's not a great thrower of the football, especially at this point of his career. I would not count on Cam to beat the Dolphins through the air. If Cam destroys the Dolphins today, it'll be, in my opinion, on the ground. And I believe that Josh Boyer and Brian Flores will have a good plan. I think this will be a relatively low-scoring game. I'm a little worried, about how many points the Dolphins can score, but I don't think the Panthers are going to put up big numbers.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I'm with you there, because when you're talking about Cam not being a good passer, one of the things I was talking about before you came on is that the corners need to play tight as possible, force Cam to try to be perfect, which he can't be, and that will then hopefully put you in a position to pick up a turnover in this one. I think Javon Holland is one of those guys that really could be a difference maker. He already has been, but I mean, he could be a real difference maker here in this one if he can, maybe steal one.
Yeah, and Javon has been limited in practice at times this week, so that's certainly a little bit of a concern, but has made a huge impact as a rookie. Wrote a story about Javon recently in which I spoke to his dad, 2 of his college coaches, one at Oregon, one now at Cal, a bunch of players. It was really interesting to get some insight on how Javon Holland has been groomed his entire life for this moment. And it's no surprise to the people who know him best that he is quickly making an impact on the Dolphins.
All right, I'll give you 4 words, and you tell me how the Dolphins resolve this. Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns. How in the hell do you resolve this one? Because we're talking right now 17 and a half sacks between those two guys, 2 werewolves that are going to be going after Tua. Tua's felt a lot of pressure. How do you slow this down, Joe?
You got to help Jesse Davis and Liam Eichenberg. Davis, who we like very much as a person and a leader, has had a tough season against elite speed edge rushers. I'm worried about that. Do you use Dorm Smythe to help out a Jesse Davis? Absolutely. Do you use Ethan Carter? Absolutely. Do you ask Myles Gaston to chip in and literally chip those speedy rushers? Absolutely. These guys can't be trusted, unfortunately, to just consistently hold up and not allow multiple sacks. Biggest concern of the game, without a doubt. Those guys are elite edge speed rushers. Now, Eichenberg seems to have settled down just a little bit. He was pretty good last week. And, he wasn't facing these types of pass rushers. But I think maybe Eichenberg can be okay. Maybe we'll see. I think leaving him at left tackle for the remainder of the season is a good strategy if the Dolphins can do that.
Yeah, they have no choice. They have no one else they can put at left tackle right now. I think that's why the kid has to suck it up there, because in the end, people keep telling me around the league he's a right tackle no matter what. But I think right now they're stuck there where they're at now. Let me ask you, Hunter Long is apparently going to get an opportunity.
My guy!
Yes, but something tells me that he's being activated because he can block some. And I don't know if they're going to necessarily count on him a ton on catching. I don't know why, but I kind of get the feeling that Hunter is going to be doing a lot of blocking because of what they're facing on the edges.
Yeah, if he has to fill a role that Adam Shaheen has done well, Shaheen has been effective as a blocker and a receiver. And so, listen, I am a Hunter Long fan based on what I've seen in practice, based on what I saw in the spring and summer. I have felt that it is a small injustice that Hunter Long has had to watch these ball games in his gym clothes. And I am positive and optimistic about Hunter Long today.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree with you on is Shaheen blocking. I've watched that. That's not good. That's kind of
big
ugly.
Man. He's a big, strong man.
Yeah, but it doesn't show on his blocking. I got to say, he's done a decent job pass catching. I will agree with you on that one. His blocking, not so much. That's why I kind of think that Hunter is, and I got to say something. I mean, Hunter being a Boston College guy, obviously Flo must have had some influence on that draft pick. It says a lot that Flo doesn't want to play his own guy from his own school. I wonder what wasn't Hunter doing right behind the scenes.
Well, remember that
it's a bad look for you not to be able to play your draft picks.
Well, it's a positive sign relative to the Dolphins' depth and talent in the tight end room. They actually have very good tight ends. Hunter Long did have an injury at the end, I believe, of training camp. And so, he was coming back from that. I think it was a leg bruise, one of those deep bruises, which can be almost as bad as like a broken bone. So don't underestimate the fact that Hunter was kind of hurting early in the year.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, you're right. He was definitely having an injury. We'll see how he plays today. Michael Dieter was not activated. And I know they said that he's close and they have another 2 weeks to possibly activate him right now. What's the latest? What do you hear with Dieter?
Yeah, I don't know when Dieter is going to play. Like you said, Coach Flores said that he's close. I do think that when Dieter returns, that will be a small upgrade over Ryder or Mans. But I think we both agree that center has not been the Dolphins' biggest concern. But it was encouraging. Dieter seemed to be taking to the center position well. And, certainly Tua has a certain comfort level with Dieter. So hopefully Will Fuller and Devontae Parker can all get back for the last 4 or 5 games. That would be a boost.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking of, if you bring Dieter back, do you have one of those guys compete at guard with some of the other guys? That's the only thing that not Hunt, but at least on the left side with Austin Jackson. What have you seen? Because you do a great job of breaking down the tape every week. The tape doesn't lie, I think is how you Is that how it goes? The tape
Tape
doesn't
don't
lie?
lie, yeah.
Tape don't lie. Your segment you do every week. What's the tape tell you about Austin Jackson?
So Austin is improving. I think Coach Flores is right in that he's better suited for guard than tackle. He is an aggressive dude in the interior. He's almost more aggressive inside than he was outside. I think he was so focused on hand placement and foot placement and, his assignments. Inside, it's kind of like, hey, let's just be
You're in a phone booth. You're in a phone booth.
Physical. And I like him in the run game.
Yeah.
His athleticism and his aggressiveness is a nice combination potentially as a real upside guard.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't have a problem at 18 if he ends up at a guard. If he was a top 5 pick or top 7 pick or something, and you draft him to be a tackle, then I get it. At 18, guards get taken at 18 all the time, so it's not a big deal. If he ends up being a good guard, it still becomes a good pick overall. And it's interesting. I love the way you broke it down because there's no doubt that on the island outside, you've got to think technique all the time because he might rush you inside, he might bull rush you, he might try to get outside, he might spin move you, and you got to think so much. At guard, and there's really not a lot of thinking. The dude's breathing right down your neck, right in your face. You're in a phone booth. So it's really mano a mano right away. So it allows him to just his abilities to just try to take over right from there. It seems like he had to do way too much thinking about what technique he was facing from a defensive end from one down to another, and he was getting fooled all the time. So you're right. I think the idea that he doesn't have to worry so much about technique on one end really helps him at guard.
And if he's going to be a guard for the last 6 games of this season, and he enters next season knowing he's going to be a guard, he can focus on strength because he's going to have enough athleticism and mobility. He can focus on adding strength, which he does need to do. He needs to add some strength.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, the dude's got arms like my legs. I mean, that guy's got ginormous arms. You look at him and you go, come on, bro. The good Lord gave you the tools to be a guy at this level. You can play. And it's nice to see him find, a spot somewhere. Let's hope he's able to find it at guard. I mean, listen, they need people to settle down at these positions. All right. How are you looking at this game? How'd you break it down? What was the prediction?
So I picked the Panthers to win by 6. Now, earlier in the week, just a couple of days ago, the Dolphins were 2.5-point underdogs. A lot of money has rushed in on Miami. So the sharp money, the smart money is on Miami, which has me concerned relative to my pick. Again, I would love to see the Dolphins win and go from 1-7 to 5-7 and be on the verge of playoff contention. Look, I mean, why? Well, look, obviously worried about slowing down Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey on the ground, but more than anything, worried about the Dolphins tackles, as we discussed a short time ago, holding up against a very good pass rush. And Tua Tagovailoa is facing the NFL's #1 ranked pass defense, which is, of course, a concern. And the Dolphins offensive line is trying to hold up against the Panthers defense that is #3 in the league in sacks. That is a big concern. So let's see if primary play caller George Godsey, co-offensive coordinator Eric Studesville, quarterbacks coach Charlie Fry, with input from other coaches, can come up with a plan to where at the end of the day, we're saying, wow, this was their best plan of the year. They're trying to add some creativity in there recently. You see some trickeration, as my old colleague Reese Davis would say. And I like that. They're at least trying, So let's see what happens. I do kind of wish that, Parker or Fuller were available. That would be helpful. And I kind of wish maybe Philip Lindsay was available, but we'll see. Probably not until next week, I'm thinking.
Yeah, but it's injury-prone people. It's just so hard to depend on them. Even if Parker was healthy, how long is he going to last in the game? It's just these things that just. You know what I'd like? Play Matt Collins more, bro. He can do a lot of the things that Parker can do. Yeah, dude, and he can do a lot of those things that Parker does now. That this Parker, that is really not, because of all the injuries, he's not the athlete that that you got out of college.
Yeah.
Kind of taking a toll on him. One more thing before I let you go.
Inactives are out, by the way. Brandon Jones is out. That could hurt. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Trill Williams, Brandon Jones, Will Parks, Darius Hodge, Adam Shaheen, and John Jenkins are your inactives. Thank you.
So that means that the running back is active.
Right? Lindsey.
Yeah, he's on the roster, and I don't know how many carries he'll get. Duke Johnson also. Was Duke Johnson not promoted? You
know what? I'm not sure now.
Yeah, because last week was an elevation.
Right.
So if he was not elevated, then he would not be active. So it's Philip Lindsay or Lindsley.
Lindsey.
Okay.
Lindsey. And let me tell you something. Here's what it leads me to our final question. You have an aggressive pass rush. You have a team that's actually not good against the run. They're 23rd against the run. They allow 4.3 yards per carry. In a strange way, you say Austin Jackson's improving. Center hasn't been a problem. You got an aggressive pass rush. Could the running game be a factor in today's game? If you're Miami, is it important to get that running game going to alleviate the pressure on Tua, to take advantage of a weakness that they have? And at the same time, it could also help your passing game with play action.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Dolphins go over 100 yards for a second consecutive game. Dolphins did that last week. You know, sometimes runs are actually short passes. It doesn't really matter if it's a short pass or a run. Certainly I would expect to see some end rounds, some reverses, some pitches, some screens, some quick outs, which Tua did well last week. So, yeah, all those things are Big O, absolutely.
Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. Catch his work there at the Palm Beach Post. And you can catch him twice a week here with the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Weekly Report. Joe, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate the insight. Enjoy the game.
Thanks. See you, Big O.
You got it, baby. There you go. Joe Shad getting it done for us here with the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
We are back, and there are times where sometimes we have to be honest with you guys, and we love you for tuning in, we love you for watching, and sometimes fans will say stuff that is just makes no sense. And so Barry Bailey, just this goes out to you, my brother, because you said something incredibly stupid and insulting, and so I'm going to point it out, because some of you out there, you're knuckleheads. And listen, I get it. Football breeds a Neanderthal type of approach to it. The way you look at it, the way you talk about it, those kind of things. So Barry Bailey says Jackson isn't mentally tough. Okay, see, here's the problem with it, Barry. You don't understand bad play, poor play, struggling to toughness. Okay? A lack of toughness is a lineman that you had here years ago that quit and walked out on the team and couldn't handle them picking on him. Do you remember that guy out of Stanford? Huh? Remember that? That's soft, dude. That's soft. Jackson is a guy that gave bone marrow to his sister before the USC season started. And he wasn't able to practice leading up to the season. And yet he played the entire senior year and never missed a game. Then had no offseason as a rookie and played for the Dolphins and played poorly. But at no point has he ever given up. They move him to guard. And all of a sudden now, he's actually improving little by little, week by week. If that's not a sign of mental and physical toughness, I don't know what is. In fact, I think, Mr. Bailey, you wish you had 10% of the toughness of Austin Jackson, because Austin Jackson lines up every week and he has to hear idiots like you slamming him, saying that he's weak. And yet he goes out there every week and lines up and tries to get better and takes the criticism from people like you, takes the criticism from writers, takes the criticism from people like me, and yet he powers through. And he's in the middle of a spotlight in public, something you've never been. This is probably the biggest spotlight you've ever been in public, getting ripped by me for saying something stupid and insulting. I'd like for you to give bone marrow and just go to work. Whatever work you do, I want to see how you respond. Okay? That guy is super tough. There's a huge difference between toughness and not being a good player. You want to say Austin Jackson's not a good player? That's fair. You want to say Austin Jackson is struggling? That's fair. You want to say Austin Jackson is a bust? That's fine. That's your opinion. But toughness is not something the guy lacks. I have not seen him fold the tent here. I have not seen the guy quit. I see the guy line up and want to play every week and try and work hard. I admire Austin Jackson for that. I don't admire the guys that quit. I don't admire the guys that want out. I don't admire the guys that want to transfer in college because they're not getting enough playing time and they're not fighting for it. Austin Jackson hasn't stopped fighting. If that isn't toughness, I don't know what is, dude. So next time, use a little intelligence. Certainly, you have no common sense whatsoever because you don't know the difference between a bad player and what you would insult with a weak player. Austin Jackson is not mentally weak, is not physically weak. He is just a mediocre player. That's what he is. But he is not mentally weak. In fact, if anything, Austin Jackson has shown me incredible mental toughness, because those that fail and continue to work at it and try to continue to better themselves and fight through the failure, those are the kind of people you want to be associated with. Those are the kind of people that show you they've got some character, because life isn't easy, bro. Life is going to kick you in the ass. And if you don't have the balls to stand up to it and try to fight it, then that's when you're weak. That's when you're mentally not strong enough. But if I see you lining up every week, you are the epitome of toughness. So you might want to learn what toughness is all about. Maybe you don't have any in your life, so maybe you don't know what toughness is. But Austin Jackson is every bit of tough that you want. Will he turn out to be a good player? I have no idea. I have no idea. But I would never call the guy mentally weak, especially after everything he's been through the first couple of years. I would call him incredibly mentally strong. In fact, I have more hope for him now than I did maybe 6 months ago and a year ago that he might turn into a good player, because he's shown me that he's willing to fight through the adversity. I admire that. As somebody that has had to fight through a lot of adversities, I can admire someone else fighting through adversities. So, Mr. Bailey, you're full of crap. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Kopitar 1132 says, first time ever commenting on a YouTube stream. You're the man, Big O. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Pipe Man Slim says, I'm buying the dip, Big O. V-Chain, a good buy. V-Chain? V-Chain? Did someone say V-Chain? V-Chain's a steal right now, dude. Okay. Oh, Lordy. All right. He has played better lately, right, Big O? Whether he plays better or not or whatever, or he becomes a player or not, I just find it ridiculous that some dude on a keyboard sitting somewhere, I don't know where he's sitting, oh, Austin Jackson's mentally weak. And it's like, come on, man. Well, why would you say something so stupid like that? Have you watched what the kid's going through? You want to tell me, Jonathan Martin is weak and soft? That's the epitome of weak and soft. You're 6'5", 330, and they're picking on you. Hell out of here, dude. That's weak and soft. You know what I mean? What was the name of the guy that Saban made him cry coming off the field? I mean, you want me to give you weakness and soft? I got examples for you, dude. Don't call Austin Jackson weak and soft. Call him a bad player. Call him a mediocre player. Call him a bad draft pick. Say you're unsatisfied with his play. I can't argue with any of that. We can agree to disagree and say maybe he's a little better than what you think he is. Fine. But mentally weak? No, dude, I'm not accepting that. Just not. Huge loss today with Brandon Jones. I agree, Alex. Huge loss. Huge loss. One of your better blitzers. Kid's been playing out of his mind. I love the – and remember, you're going up against two guys that can run the ball a lot in Cam and in Christian McCaffrey. Brandon Jones, you need a thumper in there, man. Brandon Jones, I hate to put it this way, Brandon Jones is one of those guys that can take Christian McCaffrey out of the game. I mean, I'm not wishing injury on anybody. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I don't have to wish it on him. He's a sack of injuries just waiting to happen. But I'm saying that's one of those things about Brandon Jones. You know what I'm saying? He's going to knock your nuts into your sack down there, down to your sock. That is, your nuts into your sock sack. I mean, that guy will knock the hell out of you. So yeah, they're going to miss him. They're going to miss him. God says, I'm buying an Austin Jackson jersey after that speech. Well, I mean, I admire the kid, so I have no problem with that. I really admire the fact that he has fought through all of this. You know what I mean? He is the definition of mental toughness. And by the way, is Austin Jackson the first offensive lineman to struggle for the first couple of years in his career? No. Do you know how many linemen have struggled in their first couple of years of their career? It's an endless amount of people. Linemen sometimes take 3-4 years to develop. That happens all the time. Some guys get it quickly, and some guys, it takes them a little while. Lineman is one of those tricky little things, man. But I love everything I've seen from the guy that he's trying to fight through the whole thing. Crypto says, nice shirt, Big O. Welcome to the V-Chain Club. I have one too. I've been in the V-Chain Club for a long, long time, bro. It wasn't the shirt. I've had V-Chain for a long time. That's one bag. I am dying for it to explode. When it explodes, woo, doggy, that thing is going to be awesome. I love it. It's down to, I believe I saw it at 11 cents this morning, which if nobody's bought, if you don't have any V-Chain, you got a chance now at 11 cents. I would definitely take advantage of it. If it's at 10.90 now, just under 11 cents, even better now. That is a steal, dude, for V-Chain. Eventually, that thing is going to explode, and when it does, what can I tell you? Dieter can play left guard, maybe. I don't think they'll take Jackson out if he's improving, and he has improved. That's why I asked him, because, I had Travis Winfield on the show, and if you missed the interview, you can go listen to the podcast earlier in the week. And, Travis does a great job with all those next-gen stats and all that kind of stuff. And Austin actually graded out that last week was his best game to this point. So there is a little bit of improvement going on with Austin Jackson. Listen, And by the way, thank you, Alex. Manny Wright was the guy that was crying. We have to at least be also objective, ladies and gentlemen. We're all frustrated with the entire line and everything that's gone on. But if a player's showing you something, and especially one that has struggled mightily like the way Austin has at tackle, but it looks like maybe a guard he is settling in and, finding a home there. And that's pretty cool. Did Jake Long have a son yet? Hunter Long sees action today? Yeah, he does. I think he does. I think he does as a blocker. That's why I think they're activating him. Not only because Shaheen is out, but I think Hunter will see some time as a blocker because of the pass rushers that they have. That's a whole. Hassan Reddick has 10.5 sacks, and Brian Burns has 7. So they've got one guy on each side. All right? And you've got to be worried about those guys constantly. So running backs and tight ends in this game are going to be doing a lot of chip blocking. They should at least. They need to slow it down. That's why I told Joe that maybe the running game will be, a weapon that we weren't counting on that much. You know what I'm saying? So it's we'll see. We'll see if it works. But I think because of that aggressive pass rush, if you can get the running game going, I think that'll be cool. All right, let's get the picks, baby. Lee Sterling in Paramount Sports, ready to go. Let's get it going. Let's see if Lee picks the Dolphins today in his picks in the NFL. Next.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
There we go. And that's where we're at, Sports Grill on Bird Road. I know that Lee Sterling wants some special grilled wings here from Sports Grill. There he is. There's his office. Lee is not in his office right now. Oh, there he is. Okay, there he is. Okay, all right. Because I have a little bit of a delay. All I'm seeing is empty chairs now, and all of a sudden I'm just looking at the delay. That's right. Nice mashup shirt again. Nice job by you, sir. By the way, what was that game last week that you had that you told us? Was it the Carolina-Washington game? Was that the one that you said to take, Washington? Was that the game?
I don't think it was that one. It was maybe Indianapolis, I think.
Yes, it was the Indy game. Yes, you picked it. You nailed that game. They kicked their ass, actually. They kicked Buffalo's ass badly. What wasn't it like? They were favored by several points, right? Wasn't it?
So I think it was a 7-point spread, and I think they won outright by like 3-4 touchdowns. So I'm not superstitious or anything, but when I do have a good Saturday or Sunday, the next Saturday or Sunday you got to wear the same thing. It's just it's the way gamblers are. So
I don't blame me, bro. I don't blame you. Listen, we're 3-0. The Dolphins really, it hasn't been their defense. It really hasn't been Tua. It hasn't been the coaching staff. It hasn't been anything. It's really that we switched from Miami Lakes to Bird Road. And we're 3-0 here at the Bird Road location. That's what people don't realize. Has nothing to do with the Dolphins. Their winning streak has everything to do with Sports Grill and that we changed the broadcast here. So we're staying here, and I guess we're going to win 9 in a row now because we're here. I don't know. What can I tell you? It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's we'll leave the Dolphin game for last, and we'll get your thoughts on that. Let's start off with one of your picks. What do you got for it?
So I'd say my top pick of the weekend is probably going to be Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday.
Okay.
So Cincinnati won in Pittsburgh and just dominated. Pittsburgh the last couple of weeks has been a mere shell of themselves. They've been without Minkah Fitzpatrick. Watt on defense. Hayden will not play, but 2 of the 3 of them back, they're just a different defense with Watt on the field, even at like 75, 80%.
Yes.
Inter-division teams that go on the road and win and come back home as a favorite, it's only about 38% of the last dozen years. So Pittsburgh under Tomlin, over 64% in his career after a loss. Taylor, head coach for Cincinnati, 2-10 after a win. So Pittsburgh, I think they win this game outright over Cincinnati.
And right now, Cincinnati's favored by 3.5. The over and under is 43.5. Cincinnati's minus 195 and Pittsburgh's plus 155. I'm looking at the Hard Rock app right now for that one. All right, what's your next one?
Okay, the next game is probably the high-profile game of the week. Well, there's a couple of them, but I would say it's the LA Rams over the Green Bay Packers. So sometimes when a line is off, you're like, why isn't Green Bay favored here? Right. At home, the better quarterback. He's amazing in cold weather. Maybe the greatest cold weather quarterback we've ever seen or will ever see. I think he plays better in cold weather than he does like 70, 80 degrees. And why? They're telling you, they're begging you to play Green Bay here. So don't fall for the trap. I think the Rams, after 2 horrendous performances, they got beat up. They got dominated the line of scrimmage. I think it's gut check time here. They're looking for revenge for last year's playoff game. I think Green Bay has been doing a marvelous job doing it with smoke and mirrors on defense and also the offensive line. Without Jones at running back, I think they're going to suffer a little bit today here. I think the Rams, they're minus 1.5 for a reason. I think they win this game something like 37-27.
All right. Over and under is 47. Rams, by the way, minus 135. Green Bay plus 115 in this one. All right. Next game is
the other high-profile game, Tampa Bay and Indianapolis. So yes. Indianapolis is dominating, on the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line will mash you, and I think Tampa Bay's defense is good, but Jonathan Taylor, who the Dolphins, another player they should have taken and took 2 mistakes in front of him. The kid's just on fire right now. And even Wentz, when you get 6, 7, 8 yards on first down, makes his job easy. He's not doesn't do well in these 3rd and long situations. But
Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns last week.
He killed me in fantasy. I went against him. Still almost won and beat me single-handedly. But just think that this Tampa Bay team on offense without a B at receiver, they're not the same offense. And I think Indianapolis' front 7 is really good. I think the wrong team's favorite. I have Indianapolis winning this game 27-24.
Yeah, I like this game. I'm with you there, Indy plus 3. All right. Miami and Carolina, how you feel about that game?
Tough game. I will say of the games that we've been right on going for against Miami, I felt very good. I'm going to side with Carolina, but I would say of every game on the card, I think there's like 11, 12 games today. I would say it's, if not my least favorite, my second least favorite.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's tough. I think that just McCaffrey is just so good out of the backfield. He gets the most out of every run, out of every catch. And I don't like Cam Newton. Last year I was betting against him early and often and doing really well. I think he's going to present some problems to Miami. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. He just drops back, didn't see anyone open, and he runs for it. I don't think he's their long-term solution at all. I think Shaq, you want to watch a really good player, watch the linebacker, number 7. Shaq is just he's unbelievable. He's all over the field. A lot of people don't remember him, but he came from the University of Washington. He was a linebacker and a running back. When he was out, they were struggling. Everyone talks about McCaffrey, but he was out also. So he's kind of the glue that keeps everything together. I feel bad. Do I think Tua is great? No. But their offensive line, allowing the most quarterback hits, and it's not even close from any line. There was a couple times, 3 or 4 times last week, Big O, where 3 or 4 defensive linemen or defenders literally were almost not touched. That's a quarterback's nightmare here. So I think it'll be a competitive game, but I like Carolina here, 26-24.
I'm with you there. By the way, how do you explain that Carolina was favored by 2.5 and I see the line went down to 2, and now it's at 1 right now. Carolina only favored by 1. I mean,
I have them winning by 2. And
the money's been coming in on Miami here. What the hell is that? That's crazy.
Well, here's what happens. When you see a lot of people betting one side, 75, 80, 85%, and the money's moving the other way, the sharps and the bigger money bets are coming on the other side.
Right. Okay. I got you. All right. Good stuff as always. Tell them about Paramount Sports, my brother, if they want to get on board and get on the ice too, because you're tearing it up in hockey.
Been a great run in every sport, even basketball. We're a little over 500. It's been tough. Basketball's tough, but
by the way, I've had a lot of luck playing the live line in basketball.
Yeah,
like the stock market, it is the best thing out there. To me, that's the better way to play the games in basketball is as the line is moving, because that's when the values happen. Really, actually. More often than not. That's just me.
Well, a lot of times when you see a first half go, a lot of points scored, generally slow down, and the opposite. So, in some of these low-level teams, too, you see that if a team's shooting 28, 30% at half, and it's a high total, even if the second half total is pretty high, it's usually going to fly over that second half total. So, ParamountSports.com. How about this Sunday? Top 5 selections, $55. No one better. Who's licensed and monitored, ParamountSports.com.
There you go. He's the man, Lee Sterling. Lee, as always. And follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Paramount Sports, and go to the website, ParamountSports.com. Lee, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Have a great Sunday, my friend.
You too, buddy. Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Lee Sterling, man. Good stuff. As always, let's see what else. I picked Tennessee today, +7. Okay. Isn't it New England and Tennessee? I think so, right? Yeah, New England and Tennessee. All right, we'll see if they if Tannehill can actually have some success against that defense. That defense is going to do a number on him. What do we have here? Anyone could break 2,000 yards in 14 games was great. That's very true. That is very true. The game I will be watching instead of the Dolphins, which is not on TV, going to watch Tampa Bay. Diane Mayer says Kareem Abdul-Jabbar may have been good if almost every big run he ever had wasn't also called back because of a penalty. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was just a guy, Diane, no matter what you may want to spin. A hell of a basketball player, but as a football player, he was not going to be anything special at this level. Okay, I covered him, watched him up close. Just a guy. Nothing special out of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He just had a really cool name because it followed, obviously, the basketball player. Let's not get overreaction on all of that. All right, let's take a break. Let's rest the voice here. Give me a couple minutes. We get ready for hour number 2. We'll have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Plus, I want to get into some stuff here to talk about and break down this game and tell you why, as a Dolphin fan, I'm going to give you a reason why you're going to feel better about the game. Hour number 2 is next.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Lando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back here at Sports Grill on Bird Road. Come on out and join us, man, this afternoon. We are undefeated right now here at Bird Road, 3-0. So come on out and join us right off of Bird Road and 114th, right off the turnpike, man. You just get on the turnpike, get right off on the Bird Road, and right there. And we are a couple blocks east from the exit. So easy in, easy out. That's it, baby. So come on out and join us out here all afternoon. Have some great wings, ribs, burgers, cold drinks, all kinds of stuff. And, of course, our broadcast here, pre- and post-game show. Hopefully we will have a nice, happy post-game show here. EWD Jr. says, V-Chain or Cardano? I go both, man. Right now, both are a steal. So if I'm you, I know what I would do. I would invest in both because I think both are going to explode, and eventually people are going to freak out, and they're going to say, oh, I wish I was on the Cardano bandwagon. I wish I was on the VeChain bandwagon. Another one that's also become a steal right now, and that's, again, not a financial advisor, but, I'm just going to tell you because, I love you guys out there, and I look out for you, and I would what I would do for myself, I would suggest you do it for yourself if you want. Right now, Polkadot is at $33.82 a coin. With the parachain movement coming up shortly, this thing, I want you to know, let me see, $53, $54. Yes, it peaked at $54. Okay, it's at $33.81 right now. And eventually, it's going to go higher. And it's going to go higher than the 50s. That's just me, okay? So DOT, for me, is another one that is going to explode. So there's a couple of these coins. We're waiting for a Cardano. It's been, kind of stagnant for it already blew up a little bit, but it hasn't really done its parabolic move yet. VeChain's the one that's been very, kind of stagnant for a while, which gives you an opportunity to accumulate. That's the way I look at it. People look at it as a negative, and what I do is I'll just purchase a little more. And then when it does blow up, you're going to then end up loving it. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way it goes. So, for me, either one is a hell of an investment, just like Polkadot. I think Polkadot's another one that, because of everything going on with all the parachains and everything now, which is the next movement, part of the crypto movement, Polkadot is one of those. It hasn't gone parabolic, and I'm not going to tell you, I'm not expecting a Solana type explosion, but it could happen with Polkadot. And then people are going to say, wow, I could have gotten Polkadot. Yeah. Oh, it's $150. It was at $32. It's at $200. Oh, it was at $32. I could have gotten it. That kind of stuff. So Polkadot's another one of those. And by the way, on OKCoin, you can purchase Polkadot and stake it at like 17%. That's awesome. Okay. Ed Marti says, on this weekend of Thanksgiving, I just want to say God bless you and your guests. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate you out there. Let's see. What's it called? Watching the Dolphins play football is still a better decision than buying a pretty girl's farts in a jar online. That is very true. That is very true. Farts in a jar, it just doesn't hold up. That's the problem. It dies out. So you're not going to get your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Big O, I'm trolling, but if Flores loses, will Harbaugh's chants get louder? Yeah, they won, right? God. 1 out of 80 years he won. He beat Ohio State. So let's hire him. David Triana says, random question for you, O, and the chat. Do you go to school with anyone that went to play in the NFL? For me, it was Sammy Watkins. My school made his commitment to Clemson an event. Really cool. Oh, God. At Hialeah High back in the 80s. I went to Hialeah High in the early 80s. We didn't play football good enough to get to college. So, Hialeah High, we're known for baseball. Although our football team did make it to districts my senior year, and to this day I still remember we played against American High, and they had 2 running backs, Kitchen and Campbell. Anybody that went to American High in 1985, I can't remember the young men's first name, but their 2 last names were Kitchen and Campbell. And I heard that name all night long. Those names all night long. They ran all over Hialeah High that year. I don't know how many yards. I don't remember the stats or anything, but I remember being in the stands going, damn, dude, at least, we were pretty good in football, but, it's like it was a miracle. Hialeah High, come on, bro. It's a school loaded with Cubans. We play ball, bro, baseball. You know what I'm saying? It's baseball. That's what we're into. The Arterburns never made it. After I left, there was a kid that did make it to the league. And also we had the Chargers defensive lineman, but this is after I left. Not while I was there, no. Now, maybe a guy made it in baseball that I don't remember now. Baseball, maybe. There's a chance. I just don't remember now. It's a long time ago, man. Long time ago. Let's see. Oh, holy line. You killed our running game. Najee Harris wouldn't help them to shine. It would help them a little bit, but they don't have if you don't have blocking, it's harder. You know what I mean? So it would be nice. Crypto, how do you get a return with the U.S. dollar? Looking to take money out of money market accounts and put in crypto for a better return. You just sell your crypto, bro, and you then sell it for the fiat money, and then you deposit it right into your account. That's it. It's pretty simple. You got to learn, all these kind of questions, Vegas, you've got to take the time to learn about it before you get into it. Don't go into it blindly. Do your homework, folks. Don't just listen to me or anybody else tell you this, that, whatever. Do your homework. Read up on the things that people are talking about. And then decide for yourself. Always. Okay? I always tell you that. Geno Smith went to my high school, LOL. Yeah, no, I mean, there were a couple guys, but not during my time. Not during my time. Let's see. Big O, what receivers do we have available today? The same guys. Same guys. Jalen Waddle, Gesicki, Mac Hollins, Albert, I don't know who's going to show up. Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson is dressed. Preston Williams dressed. Mac Hollins, Jalen Waddle.
There you go. Preston Williams is there. He's ready to drop a football. So he's ready to go. Big O, one must sing the tune for the full effect. Oh, Holly line and add your insults. I went to CHS, Laramie Tunsil's alma mater. Now, the question is, do you have his bong mask? That's really the key. If you have his bong mask, Laramie Tunsil should make an NFT of that bong mask picture. He would probably make thousands of dollars on that one picture just for fun because it's so memorable. You know what I'm saying? Where is that mask? That mask should be in the Hall of Fame. When I go there, when I go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Tuesday, I should be seeing, Laramie Tunsil's mask. First time a weed mask goes in the top 15 of the draft. Cade McNown, I went to high school with him. We knew he was a bust. Now, Cade, you have no idea. Cade McNown's bigger, the worst infraction that Cade McNown ever made in his life was he got thrown out of the Playboy Mansion. Who gets thrown out of the Playboy Mansion? You know what I'm saying? If I'm going into the Playboy Mansion, you know what I mean? The only way I leave is dead. That's it. Dead. Old age, or I just, had so much sex I died. It's just one of those two. And I'll be a good boy. Don't worry about it. I mean, how do you get thrown out of the Playboy Mansion? Seriously. Only Axel Foley and company get thrown out of the Playboy Mansion. You know what I'm saying? That's just, the fact. How do you get, that's the dream for every, red-blooded human being, male on the planet. Get into the Playboy Mansion. And it's like the Roach Motel. You don't want to get out. You don't want to ever leave. What's wrong with you? Hawaiian Dolphin, you win. Diane Mayer. I don't know what that means. You know what's actually cool? American Dream Lending is one of our excellent sponsors, by the way. And any of you need a mortgage, you got to call my guy Eves. Right now, Eves is working with 4 different of our listeners locally, right? And then he's got apparently one of our listeners in Indiana is working on a mortgage with Eves. And one of our listeners in Hawaii is working with Eves on a mortgage because he's licensed in most states, I think. And there's only like maybe a couple states he might not be licensed in. But in most states, he's actually licensed and can help. So it's actually interesting how how we and by the way, thanks to all of you out there as always, because as I always tell you, you go here to Sports Grill, you call Pallet Rack City because you own a company. And by the way, Pallet Rack City, for those of you that don't know, all over Florida. So if you're listening on the West Coast, on the Treasure Coast, and you own a business, a warehouse, and you need to organize and all that, call Pallet Rack City. And of course, you tell them that we sent you. You know what I'm saying? You go to Craig Zinn's Acura. Very important that you mention us. So I thank all of you for mentioning us. Caneswear, wherever you go, Hialeah Park, you name it. Yes? Yes? What are you
No, I was waiting for you to finish. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, because I went back and dug to find out what they were talking about. Hawaii Dolphin is from Tua's hometown.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. We have a lot of listeners in Hawaii now. That's
He grew up there. I'm sorry. He grew up
okay.
there. I don't know if he's
All
there
right.
now, but he grew up there.
We have a lot of listeners now in Hawaii. We have a lot of because I'm getting the texts, I'm getting the tweets, I'm getting the DMs. The stats are telling us because we see the cities that people are downloading from, the countries that people are downloading from, and Hawaii is actually getting we're getting a lot of action in Hawaii. So thank you all out there in Hawaii for supporting us, and obviously the Tua love is out there. Let's see. Everybody loves Hawaii, whether they've been there or not. How can you not love Hawaii, bro? Place looks beautiful. It's like heaven. It always seems better than where you're at, right? Every time they show Hawaii, you're like, damn, I want to go there. I want to hang out there, And Hawaii Dolphins says, Hawaii loves you, Big O. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Fourth and Go says, bingo. I'm in Cali because my daughter is here to watch the BTS concert at SoFi Stadium. I'm going in circles trying to find somewhere to watch the Fins game. Wait a minute, but you're in SoCal? We have SoCal people that are usually on the chat board. They can probably tell you about a Dolphin bar in Southern California. Because believe it or not, there'll be a Dolphin bar in Southern California. So, by the way, anybody in Southern California right now, please chime in. Give us a bar that our friend can go to there in Southern California to watch the Dolphins game. If there's a Dolphin bar, tell us. Now we got a big Dolphin clan coming in. I love it. I love it. We're going to pack this place in today. We're going to have 4 in a row. Thank you all for coming on. Appreciate it. So hopefully we will get the big win there. Bill Dent says, I live in SoCal, but I vacation at Hawaii. Dog the Bounty Hunter makes me not want to go to Hawaii. Well, don't worry about it. I mean, Dog can did you watch Dog when that whole thing came out with where they were trying to find this loser Brian, whatever it is, that he killed that girl? And when he was out there, we're out there trying to find him. He looked so old at that point. It was just like, dude, just retire. You're like a caricature of yourself already at this point. Just, you got to give it up already. Big O, you got 3 locks to score TDs this week. Any team. You got 3 locks to score TDs this week. And somebody that will score a touchdown? Is that what you mean? I don't know. You got to give me the specific prop bet that you're looking at, my brother, because I don't know. It just all depends. Big O, with Cam being a running QB, how big of a loss is Brandon Jones for today? Well, I already talked about it. It's a big loss. He's a good tackler. He's good against the run. He's a hell of a blitzer. So you're going to lose that with him. He's physical. He can knock the crap out of you. I love everything about Brandon Jones, man. Once he gets a little better in coverage, he's going to be a Pro Bowler. Put it that way. He's a playmaker, man. You can't teach that kind of stuff. And that's what really hurts about Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones is a playmaker. And when you're missing a playmaker, that's not a good thing. Now, let me tell you something. Let me give you something to feel good about today on this game, because a lot of people talk about certain things. You know how they talk about the pass defense for Miami? It's 32nd, and they have been pretty bad, right? Now, lately, they've been doing it better, right? Because the defense has been playing better. So they're ranked 32nd. They've given up 3,016 yards. They've given up 20 touchdowns, and they've gotten 7 interceptions in the process. Carolina's number 1 in pass defense. You know that, right? Okay. Now, they've allowed 1,916 yards to Miami's 3,016. So that's a difference of 1,100 yards, right? They've allowed 16 touchdowns to Miami's 20. They got 8 interceptions to Miami's 7. You see how stats really can be spun anyway? Because if you really look at it, as of late, Miami's not giving up the same amount of yards. So that 1,100-yard difference really doesn't make that much of a difference right now. Because if you look at it the last couple of weeks, it's not like they're really getting lit up that much. And then in the end, through, 11 games they've played, they've allowed 20 touchdowns to 16. That's only 4 more. And lately, they're not giving up nearly as much. And I could argue that lately, they've been turning over the ball more. So they have 8 for the season. Miami has 7 interceptions. You see what I'm saying? That's 32nd to number 1. You see how deceiving it sounds? Oh, well, their pass defense is number 1. Oh, and Miami's 32nd. Oh, God, it's the end of the world. But if you really look at the numbers, it's not much of a difference. And if I start to tell you about how Miami's defense is playing as of late compared to the beginning of the year, what would you say? Much better, right? So it starts to look like there's really not that much of a difference in this game. Miami has a chance. Give you some other things, okay? Pass defense, okay? The completion percentage, Miami is 9th in the NFL. Pass defense completion percentage, okay, it's 63%. And they're allowing 7.3 yards per catch. Do you know how much the number 1 pass defense is allowing? They're number 12 in completion percentage at 64. So worse than Miami. They're at 12th, and Miami is at 9th. So they tell you, oh, they have the number 1 pass defense. But they don't tell you that Miami is actually slightly better than they are in completion percentage. Okay? Now, Miami is averaging allowing 7.3 yards per catch, and Carolina 6.6. So there is, a little bit of a difference there. And Miami has allowed 20 touchdowns to their 16 and 7 interceptions to 8. But you see what I'm saying, how the stats are kind of skewed. And this is why a lot of times when people try to use the stats, you have to really look at them, because it doesn't really tell the whole story. And I tell people this all the time, that if you lean on stats, it's not going to tell you the whole story. But if you want to use a specific stat to just highlight a negative, and then use a specific stat to highlight a positive for somebody else, you'll do it. But nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you, hey, Carolina's number 1 and Miami's 32. But really, one's got 8, the other one's got 7 interceptions. What's the difference? One's got 20 touchdowns, the other one's allowed 16. Not much of a difference in 11 games. So nobody tells you that. They just tell you, oh, Miami's 32, Carolina's number 1. And then they scare the crap out of you, but they don't really give you the meat of it, that there really isn't much of a difference. And especially if you look at the way the Dolphins have played late compared to how they started. They're a much better team now defensively than they were earlier. We never saw the amoeba. We never saw them do the stuff that they're doing now. We're seeing the defense we saw last year now, finally. That's the defense we're watching. Yes.
No, and I was looking at their schedule.
Right.
Looked at their schedule to see who they played. And the games where they played anybody with a decent quarterback, it was a shootout with the Cowboys, 36-28.
Right.
The Cowboys won. The Vikings, if you want to call,
serviceable quarterback,
34-28. The Vikings won.
Right.
And then they played Washington 27-21. Other than that, they played the Cardinals with Kyler Murray injured. The Patriots beat them 24-6. Falcons, Giants, Eagles, Texans, Saints, Jets.
Right.
So that's who they've been playing against.
Right. And Falcons have a decent quarterback in Matt Ryan.
But Matt Ryan's. But they played him early in the season when he was in that.
All right. When they weren't playing well.
Yep.
So, and now here's another one that, they'll spin it to you and they'll tell you this and they'll tell you that. And here's one that they don't talk enough about. So Miami's rush defense, do you know they're 16 to Carolina's 23? So Miami's allowed 1,195 yards on the ground. Carolina's allowed 1,260. Miami's allowed 4.3 yards per carry. So does Carolina. And Miami's allowed 9 TDs on the ground to Carolina's 8. But Miami is slightly better than them. Not much of a difference, again, between the two. So, they tell you, well, Miami's run defense, they're going to struggle. Well, what about Carolina? They don't have a great run defense either. And if your line is slightly improving, if your offense is slightly improving, this is why I talked about how maybe you have a shot here at using the running game to your benefit. And you have an opportunity to maybe make the running game a part of this offense today so you can make an impact. See, these are kind of numbers that people don't talk about. And they don't mention it because they only mention part of it because it fits their story and their narrative. They don't mention the other half because then it would take away from their narrative. It would take away. I can't tell you that they're number one simply like that in Miami's 32, but then if I tell you the numbers, you're going to go, wait a minute, hold on, dude. There's not that much of a difference. Stats can be spun any way you want. And in this game, Miami has a pretty damn good chance of creating. And I'm going to give you some more stuff that is actually going to make you feel even better about going in this game today against the Carolina Panthers. By the way, a couple things on the team. Elijah Campbell was placed on IR. He's been helping out a lot on special teams. That sucks. They did activate University of Miami defensive back Sheldrick Redwine and Javaris Davis from the practice squad. So both DBs are going to be part of the team today. We'll see what kind of a role they play, and hopefully, some of these guys will probably help out, I would imagine, on special teams. Maybe some on defense. I don't know, but at least for special teams purposes, there's no doubt that they're going to end up using those guys. What else did I want to mention? The line went down to Panthers by 1. It was at 2.5. Now it is at 1. So the money is actually coming in on the Miami Dolphins, which is pretty amazing. Maybe they're looking at some of the numbers that I talked about, saying, hey, wait a minute, this thing isn't such a lopsided deal. Panthers are 5-6 going into today's game. They are 3-2 on the road. Miami is 2-3 at home. So that's one thing that they need to fix. All right. They're going to have a nice crowd today. Let's hope that they give that crowd a nice performance and a victory. Hopefully we will get a nice crowd in here at Sports Grill on Bird Road. So come on out and join us. So we'll see if Miami can pick up their 3rd win of the season at home, 5th overall. We'll see if they can win 4 in a row too here at Sports Grill, which would be nice. 4 in a row here at the Bird Road location. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Give me 2 minutes, rest the voice. And when we come back, I'm going to give you some stats to feel good about going into this game and what the Dolphins could be doing in this game to kind of feed off those stats and add a little bit more. That and more right here on the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Big O Show, coming to you live from Sports Grill on Bird Road in Miami.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back. And by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention locally a couple of games from yesterday. Obviously, the Miami Hurricanes ended up getting it done last night, which was actually good. Yesterday, that is. They wrapped up their season against Duke. Now, a game that they were favored by, I don't know what it was, like 20 or something, 21 points or whatever, but they easily covered. They looked good. Van Dyke threw a bunch of bombs. It was a lot of fun yesterday to watch them actually take down Duke and dismantle them. And listen, they beat a team the way they're supposed to beat them. That's the important part, 47-10, and improved to 7-5. So they'll go to their bowl game. They got one more. Van Dyke, by the way, was 34 of 49 for 381 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Rambo had 2 touchdowns. Rambo is just an absolute beast. The Heat defeated the Bulls 107-104. They are now 13-7, 7-6 on the road. That was a tough game last night. Listen, any of us that watched that game, they kind of controlled it still, in that second half. But we kind of expected a tough game. Lowry was terrific overall. No Tyler Hero. They gave him a little bit of a rest. So good stuff with the Heat. Tomorrow they will take on Denver at FTX. And then the Panthers, wow, they suffered an ugly one of the Kraken. The Kraken was released at the Florida Live Arena, and it was ugly 4-1.
Dreger continues his great goalie play.
Yes.
At the arena.
Yep, you're right. You're right, because they're 7-13-1. It's not like they're dominating or anything. But last night,
that was his first game back.
But last night last night. No, but I'm saying the team, they're not dominating. You know what I mean?
No,
yeah. So they're not dominating, but yeah, he playing against his former team, he was awesome, man. Hornquist was Hornquist. By the way, Hornquist has been so awesome this year, dude. God, he has been fantastic.
All the moves they've made have been great. Honestly,
yeah. Zito is, dude. He gets it. Like, all the frustrations I had with Talon are out the window with this guy, dude. I mean, what a knockout of a hire, man. Yep. Bill Zito, bro.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, dude. He is awesome. So Tuesday, they will take on the Capitals at the Florida Live Arena. Remember, they just lost to the Capitals a couple of nights ago. It's not called the phone booth anymore because remember it was the Sprint Center or whatever, and they used to call it the phone booth. Whatever the name of that damn arena is now, I don't remember what it is, but that's some of the stuff that went on locally last night with some of our teams. So be remiss if I did not mention any of that. Now, I told you I want to give you a couple of other stats that made you want to feel good about the Dolphins and making plays going into this game against the Carolina Panthers. First of all, forced fumbles. Do you know who's number one in the NFL at forced fumbles?
I do not.
The Arizona Cardinals are number one in the NFL at forced fumbles with 16. Do you know who's tied for second?
I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins.
You damn right. Dolphins and Texans are tied for 13 for second with 13, 3 behind the Cards. Know where the Panthers are at? They're 7th with 11. So Miami's a little better than the Panthers at forcing fumbles. Now, after you force them, you must what?
Recover them.
Do you know who is number 3 in the NFL at recovering fumbles?
I'm going to have to say it's our Miami Dolphins.
You damn straight, bro. Number 9 overall. Colts are number 1 with 12. Cards are number 2 with 11. Miami is number 3 with 9. The Panthers are 5th with 5. So Miami has 9 of their 13 forced fumbles recovered. The Panthers have 5 of their 11 fumbles recovered. So Miami is slightly better at forcing them and much better than them at recovering them. Okay? Playmaking. Now, do you know this? Now, this is what I love. I love how people want to, because I know it's not a great year, but they don't want to highlight the good stuff that this damn team does. So did you know, Sean, that there are only 5 teams in the NFL that have scored defensive touchdowns?
No, I did not actually.
Aha! Most people don't know that. Guess who's one of those 5 teams, Sean?
I know it's Miami Dolphins.
Right, because X scored one, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So the Eagles are number 1 in the NFL with 3. Bears, Titans, Colts, and Dolphins each have 1. Carolina Panthers nowhere to be found. I'm just saying, dude. These are things that I just want to kind of enlighten our Dolph fans out there, because there's just, when things are going wrong, it's really easy to be negative about them, right? But if there is some improvement and there are things that are positive, you got to try to highlight them, because that's the only way you're fair. It's really easy and lazy. The Dolphins suck. The offense can't get it going. Defense not making enough plays. They haven't won enough, this, that. Well, we get the general stuff that's gone on with the Dolphins, but there are things that are happening. The defense is improving. They have won 3 in a row. The offensive line has actually blocked better. The offensive line has actually run the ball a little bit here. I mean, Joe just got off our interview going, well, I would like to see them hit the 100-yard mark for 2 weeks in a row. That would be good. These are things that we're not highlighting enough. What we get is some guy that chimes in and says, Austin Jackson is soft. And it's like, come on, man. This is what we get. And it's just not right, because there are good things going on with the team. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully now we're seeing that on a more consistent basis. And maybe that's why the victories are happening now. And that's why I really feel like they have a shot at getting it today, because something that I will give Brian Flores some credit is finally they adjusted on defense and they figured things out, and they are playing really well. And they've gone up against a Tyrod Taylor and a Lamar Jackson. And when you're going up against Cam, the only difference is his size, that he brings a physicality that Lamar and Tyrod do not have. So that will be the other challenge of it. But overall, philosophically, it's kind of the same thing. It's going to be a disciplined pass rush where you fill every gap. You stay disciplined. You don't try to create stuff. You don't try to blow things up and try to, something outside the box. Stay in your assignment. And if you're able to stay in that assignment from down in and down out, you'll be able to keep Cam in the pocket. and you'll be able to frustrate him. If you keep Cam in the pocket, you will force Cam to turn over the ball, I guarantee you. But if you allow him to run and you allow him to throw on the run and throw, boots and waggles and things like that, then you're going to allow him to have some success. And Miami has developed that blueprint in 2 out of the last 3 weeks, playing similar like quarterbacks. And they're athletes playing quarterback. So force them to be quarterbacks. You force a Tyrod Taylor to be a quarterback, he can't throw the ball consistently. You force Lamar Jackson to be a quarterback, he can't throw the ball consistently. You force Cam Newton to be a quarterback, he can't throw the ball consistently. You stop, Derrick Henry, and you force Ryan Tannehill to become a quarterback, and you will force him into mistakes because he cannot pass on a consistent basis. That's going to be the key for today's game. And there's a lot of things that tell you that Miami has an opportunity to win this game. And there isn't the kind of difference that we should be feeling like it's impossible for them to win this game. I feel like they definitely have a legitimate shot at winning this game. I think they will win this game. I'm predicting a Dolphin win this week. I'm not picking the Panthers. I'm picking the Dolphins here. Tua is a Dolphin for now, so he's my favorite QB until the Dolphins mortgage their future for a sex addict. Well, we'll see if they do that. Wonder if Scam is going to do his famous juggling skit with the bowling pins. I don't know. I don't know if Scam Newton will do that. Rosendo, we wouldn't want our consistently durably team suddenly experiencing injuries because of the turf. Okay. Well,
They're talking about the turf on the field. There's a conversation going on in the chat.
About the turf?
About turf and grass and
grass too. They're talking about grass. Are they rolling it? Picking the seeds out? Or what are they doing with the grass?
Some of that may be going on.
Okay. All right. Big O, you're hating on Harbaugh, but Michigan, they're going to be a top 4 team after Monday. Wow. So, Dana, he gets it once in his entire tenure, right? So that now you hire him? Please. I'd like to hire somebody consistent, Dana. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to hire somebody that's consistent, not consistently inconsistent. So please, his record still against ranked teams is garbage. His record against Ohio State is still garbage. His record against Michigan State is still garbage. So, it's funny how one season that things have gone his way and they beat Ohio State, all of a sudden he's the answer. Give me a break. So, yes, if you want to call it hating, yes, I am hating. Where is my Jilly, Big O? What's he mean by Jilly? I don't know what that means. Daniel, you got me there, bro. I have no idea what that means. Are we supposed to have like some cheerleader out here or something named Jilly? Or is Jilly like an abbreviation of something that I'm missing here? I don't know. Most Dolph fans sway like the wind. 3 weeks ago, y'all saying we were trash. Same guy 3 weeks later, we could make the playoffs. I've never said that, so that's not me. I've never said the playoffs. I've never said 9 in a row. I've never said any of that. In fact, I think I've said that I don't, a team that started off, played, lost the last 7 games, don't think they're going to win 9 in a row. So, you can invent stuff if you want, Dana. You know what I mean? But if you actually listen to the show, that never happens. But that's fine. All I'm saying is they got a shot today. Yes. What do you got to say to me? What's the deal, Sean?
It looks like Jilly is Deshaun Watson's girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. Jilly and Ace. All right. I see. Where's my Jilly? Okay. All right. So he wants pictures of Jilly on the we've already done that show.
We get in trouble with YouTube when we do that too.
Yeah, that's right. They did get, but then they realized like, well, she's dressed. Like she's not showing anything. Like we're overreacting. Yeah, YouTube is a little touchy sometimes. If we retain Flores or hire Harbaugh, I'm going to get a transorbital lobotomy. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. There's only one Jilly. Yeah, no, you're right about that. I just, it went over my head. I forgot all about that Jilly. You know what I mean? I forgot all about that.
I'm looking up terms for Jilly. I'm like over here thinking.
Yeah, no, I know. One guy's asking me, what's up with the crypto market? Oh, it's the same as the stock market. That stupid virus that came out of South Africa now, the new variant, the Omorion or whatever the hell it's called, or whatever it is. But that freaked some people out, and some idiots ended up selling their stocks, and other idiots sold their crypto and panicked. Remember, there's a lot of people that are in crypto right now that don't know anything about crypto. You know, like most of the people that have Doge, they know nothing about crypto. They just bought it because it's a thing, you know? So a friend told them and they bought it and this and that. Just like some other people have coins and they bought a little Bitcoin, and then they hear about this and then they just sell. And that's kind of what it is. Meanwhile, the whales are buying. And any of the smart people that are following this going, well, wait a minute, hold on a second. So Bitcoin's going to drop into the mid 50s. Yeah, let me get a little more Bitcoin here. Let me get a little Ethereum here in the low 4,000s. Yeah, let me do it. Oh, VeChain went down. I'm going to buy a little more VeChain. Oh, Polygon went down. I'm going to take a little Polygon. Oh, Polkadot's down. I'm going to take a little Polkadot. You know what I mean? So the smart people are looking at this going, okay, that's fine. You're not doing this for a week from now. Okay, if you're a day trader or something like that, a pump and dumper, well, then, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're like me, okay, I'm not a financial advisor, but the way I look at things this is a long-term thing. It's not, I'm in the Bitcoin for the rest of my life and hopefully for my daughter's life. You know, that's kind of the way it is. I'm not thinking about this for next week or next month or anything like that. Ethereum for me is long-term. VeChain for me is long-term. Crow for me is long-term. I am not here, the Shiba stuff. Okay, that's a pump and dump. Whenever it pumps, you dump and you get out. That's different. Usually when I invest in a certain crypto market, coins that I do invest in, we're talking about stuff that is going to serve as a long-term type of solution for things going on in the world right now. And so it's not something that I'm looking at in the short term. Why do I always tell you guys, when you look at things, don't look at the micro, look at the macro. How much has it grown over time? Oh, you see it's a steady stream all the way up. Okay, so then what's there to panic? A couple little dips here, there, whatever, little corrections. But what happens? It gets back on track and it goes to a higher high. And you get a higher low and a higher high and a higher low and a higher high. And so eventually, you won't see the 50s in Bitcoin in a couple of months ever again. And in 2 years, you won't ever see 80, 90,000 for Bitcoin. That's the way it's going to be. The dips are going to be lower. The dips are going to be higher dips. They're going to be smaller corrections. They're going to last shorter amount of time because as the market grows and as there's more institutional and financial investment money in it, all those kind of companies. Was it El Salvador? They just bought 100 more Bitcoin. You do the math. It's going for 55,000 a coin. They bought 100 more coins because that's part of their whole what's it called economy now. This is their money. This is their currency. So this is permanent. So the people that you see dropping every time there's some kind of little FUD, those are the people that don't know anything about crypto, and all they're doing is lowering the price so somebody else can come in and get it cheaper and take advantage of it. That's all. And down the line, in a year or two, when VeChain's over $1 and $2 and people will be like, whoa, man, I could have had it for 8, 9 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents, 14 cents. It's just the way it is. But it's going to take a while. It'll grow. VeChain hasn't been added to Coinbase yet. And let me explain something to you, because I learned something with a friend of mine in New York that she only gets Coinbase. She can't sign on to crypto.com. She can't sign on to OKCoin, Voyager, Binance, so many different exchanges. She can't take advantage of any of them, right? So now I've noticed why when they add a coin to Coinbase, it blows up, because the people in the Northeast never had a shot at the coin. So once it gets on Coinbase, that's the only place they can buy it. So that's why being added to Coinbase, VeChain hasn't even been added to Coinbase yet. Notice Crow got added to Coinbase, and look how Crow exploded, because a bunch of people in the Northeast weren't able to get Crow. Now they're able to get Crow. You know what I mean? So that's the whole key. Again, it's just patience. I tell you guys all the time with this. Patience, you need some balls, some guts to play in crypto. It's just one of those things, because you have to be tough-minded. You cannot allow these little FUD situations to freak you out. In fact, they have to embolden you, is what they have to do, because you have to look at it like it's an opportunity, not that it's a disappointment or that it's something that I've got to, get out on or anything like that. No. It's an opportunity to buy, is what it is. So the crypto market is just fine. It's going to move forward. It's going to move ahead. It will overcome like it normally does. And again, look at the macro, not the micro. That's what I always tell you guys. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Don't feed the whales. Don't wet the bed. Diamond hands. Hold. We are super early on the show. Start planting seeds here and there. That's right, Robert. You are a smart man, as always. You get it, dude. You get it. DeFi on reputable blockchains, Big O, is the way to go for the long-term future as well as NFTs. Exactly. DeFi is everything, my man. DeFi is the freedom for us, finally, to get away from all these governments ruining the dollar and ruining the value of the dollar. That's why all these countries that are gonna, they're gonna follow the lead from El Salvador, and they're going to end up using, Bitcoin as their currency, and that's going to change everything. Let's see, what else do we have here? I would actually not want to flex in Miami, but even though they are not having amazing success in Minnesota, I couldn't argue he's done the most sometimes with the least. I guess you're talking about Spielman, I guess. Jamie says, thanks for the intel, Big O. Team has some good stuff going on. Yeah, man. Team's gotten better. There's stuff to be happy about with the Miami Dolphins. Are they where we want them to be? Hell no, dude. Is this a disappointing season? Hell yeah. It's a disappointing season. There's no doubt about it. Are you concerned Treasury is looking at all sorts of reporting requirements, trying to control as usual? No, I'm not. You know why? There's a lot of people in the government that are involved in crypto, and eventually they will all use it to their benefit, including guys like Ted Cruz and stuff like that. So they will. The problem is there's a lot of uneducated, and that's what will change. Eventually, the education part of it, they'll figure it out. This is why Mayor Suarez here for Miami is so forward thinking and smart, creating the Miami coin. New York City's coin is now coming up. San Francisco's next. It's all on the Stacks network, which is built on Bitcoin. So Paris is also up too. So eventually they will have city coins all over the world. And eventually that's where we're going. We've been digital forever. Credit cards, checks. We've been digital forever. People just it's this ignorance of you're just intimidated by crypto. But technically, you've been dealing in the world of digital forever. This is just another way of doing it, and doing it on the blockchain where everything can actually be structured, controlled, and not manipulated. And that's the difference. And you're going to be able to be your own bank. That's the beauty. For those of us that have been in it for a while now, you're using your own money to lend out, and you're earning interest off of your coins. So while my Bitcoin is sitting there gaining value, right, I'm also lending it out, and I'm earning interest off of that too. So I'm making money two ways. You understand? So that's where things have changed. And not only that, the interest rates for lending for the person that's borrowing is a fraction of what you're going to borrow out in public to banks. And the banks manipulate and they give money to who they want to give. DeFi doesn't have, they don't do any of that. Everybody's eligible. Everybody's the same. So this will empower us. That's the problem with people. They need to really study this and understand that this is for the greater good. Some of the people like Hillary, like Lion Hillary, she's against it because they've been part of controlling our money for so long, and they want to keep controlling our money, and they want to keep controlling who gets the loans and who doesn't, and all those kind of things. They don't want to lose that power. This takes the power away from them and empowers us. So, I mean, these are things that just study it, man. Read up on it. Educate yourself. Once you have, you will figure it out and you will understand what the hell I'm talking about. Regulation is important. Regulation is only important for the businesses that are being involved, Rosendo. Not to regulate and control anything that has to do with the coin itself. But just to make sure that the companies are legit. I agree that there's those of us that are in crypto and understand it, we want a certain amount of regulation. But we don't want it to where it's at right now. That it's not regulation, it's manipulation. Not doing that. So no. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know how much of crypto you really understand, Rosendo, because it's just not that simple of throwing it out there. Plus, they're not going to have access to the blockchain. So that's the good thing. We can't give them access to the blockchain. They would ruin everything that's being built. Let's see. All right, what else do we have here? Dolphins need to regulate McCaffrey and Newton today. I am with you, man. Let's hope so. All right, folks, we are wrapping it up here. We will join you on the postgame show, and we will have all kinds of stuff for you. We'll have Flores' press conference, Tua's press conference after the Dolphins defeat the Carolina Panthers. We will see you after that game, and we will be ready for you on the postgame show, live from Sports Grill on Bird Road here in Miami. We'll see you postgame. You all be good out there. Fins up.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.